Yes, we were listening in, eavesdropping, as you could call it. But the reality is, we are always welcome and we are always invited to have these eavesdropping experiences with you to be able to observe the communication you have with each other and also how you're processing the information. We are just as curious how you are going to respond as you are just as curious as the information that we have for you today.
Yes, most definitely. Thank you. May I call on Joanne's higher self at this time?
Absolutely, as well as there's many collectives here that are assisting us today because this is so convoluted and we want to be able to give you as much assistance as possible. So we are all here of service for you to be able to help you, to be able to support you and nurture you as you are on your journey of understanding what is going on.
Wonderful. Thank you. And I really appreciate you all being here and appreciate the information that is ready to come through at this time.
And Courtney, as you know, Courtney, we are always around you. And it is not a moment that you are alone. And so you do not need to thank us. This is part of our duty and honor to you. So when you are feeling frustrated, know that we are here and we are always there of service and to support you and to nurture you as well. And we want to take this opportunity to say that we are proud of you and your maturity. And we understand it was a big load that you have taken on, and you have done it with such beautiful grace. And every step that you have made on this journey has been one that you will be very proud of.
Thank you. I have to say thank you to that. Thank you. I would like to ask for a body scan for Joanne at this time and any healing that needs to take place.
Yes, we will get her to sit back and relax. This body is tired and this body is holding on to tension that actually does not belong to her. She's feeling the weight of everyone who is struggling, who is triggered, who has been reluctant to do their inner work, and that they are dragging her down. So we are just releasing that because it is like attachments that they have put on her, not because they mean to, but because they truly are lost, they're dazed and confused, they don't know what to do. And it's not going to be a news flash for us to tell them to do your own inner work and stop relying on others. They're crutches for you. Stop being distracted. Go within and spend some time with yourself, for yourself, by yourself, to get connected to yourself. It is not complicated.
Yes. Well, can we ask that we release what no longer is serving her so she does not have to hold on to those attachments?
Yes, we've instantly released it and we have sent back those attachments to those people to remind them firmly, we are speaking to you. We are speaking to you with love and we are speaking to you with firmness to be able to remind you, you are powerful. You are able to be able to do all that you need to do to be able to get yourself moving forward and get yourself unstuck. Stop relying on others, stop being distracted and do your own inner work. This is important, and so many people assume that we're not speaking to them because they assume they've already done their inner work, and that is not quite correct.
Yes, gotcha. Thank you. So I'm curious to know, I've got some questions. There's a group of people that are working with 12 nodes in Egypt and using crystals. What is the significance of this? I guess I'd like to know if they're trying to upgrade and buy time for Gaia, or is there something else going on here?
There is something else going on here. While their intentions, and their manifestations are to come together as a collective to be able to help upgrade the power grids, upgrade Gaia, send her healing, send her love, send her strength to be able to extend her life on this vessel for 200 years. The reality is that is encroaching on her free will. They are trying to be of service. They are trying to help give people who need, people in quotation marks, beings, we should have said, it is to give those beings the comfort that they are seeking, to be able to feel like this planet, this life that they are living in now has the expansion of 200 years. They believe that if they get an extra extension of living on this planet for 200 years, that they will be safe, they will be, so we want to say cured, safe and cured. What are they trying to cure themselves from? They are trying to upgrade themselves. They are trying to be able to use technologies to be able to upgrade their bodies so they can go into the fifth dimension. They know they cannot go into the fifth dimension as is, and so they are panicking. They are using this. They are using this. They are using this. We are now aware. We are aware. We are aware. We are focusing on this now. The beings and the people that are there to help, the people who are there in Egypt right now, they are beautiful souls. They do want to help. They have no hidden agendas apart from being loving servants to humanity and Gaia. And we love and honor them for that. But the reality is they are doing service. They are doing something that they do not know the bigger agenda behind. There was a different agenda with those nodes, with those crystals. And that is fine. That is fine. They will be doing something. That is not what the intention is. We will not let any humans now be able to tamper with anything to be able to entrap Gaia any further. She is of her free will. She is of protected sovereign consciousness. She does not want, with much love, to stay here for 200 years. She understands that the humans that are doing this, the humans that are trying to give her a big boost of health injections so she can continue on for 200 years, she says, thank you for the opportunity and the option. I will be declining. This is not my contract, my sole contract to have this. This is so convoluted, and we are appreciative of this connection today. We are sending healing energy to all those beings who are trying to find solutions for this. We would like to know what other information you would like us to answer for you.
Yes. I guess I've heard that there is something to do with a blue crystal that is connected to the inner earth, and they do not have that at this time. That is apparently what they are missing. So I would like to know, what is the significance of the blue crystal and its connection to inner earth? And are the blue crystals related to the Arcturians by any chance?
We love that you are asking us this question, because you have the elements of blue crystal within you as well. Naturally, you are that frequency. And it is not a coincidence that the blue crystal is the fifth element. You have activated through your own sessions in this. You've already activated what those other crystals will be doing, which is disengaging and disconnecting Gaia to her physical body. So while they think that they are in Egypt right now buying extra 200-year time, the reality is they are helping assist with the disconnection of the body. They are disconnecting her from her chakra points, if you will, if you want to understand it in this analogy. But you have already done this. You have been of service. You have already beat the clock, shall we say, and disconnected Gaia to her, we want to say, navel point of Peru. But this is something else, and we could expand on it more. But the question you have asked for us, which we can answer now is that the blue crystal energy is the crystal, is the fifth, the element of fifth dimension. And so, can you understand that if they are trying to buy time, but then they're adding in the fifth dimension into the element, into that connection of all those other crystals with the intent, with the manifestation of being able to get extra energy and power and frequency into Gaia's consciousness, into her body to be able to survive an extra 200 years as is, you can't add the element of fifth dimension because that would expand her naturally, which has already happened. She's already been infused with the fifth dimensional element, which you also assisted her with, as well as others. It is not, you are not the sole key to this, but you are an important fraction of this, Courtney.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah. Well, I mean, I know this work is very, very powerful, and there's a lot of collectives and a lot of individuals that have helped in this whole process. So do you have any other information with the naval access point in Peru?
The disconnection. Yes, it was a very toxic point for her. It was almost like, we want to say, her belly button. And when you put oils on your physical belly button, you get absorbed straight away because it's think of your connection to your mother in the womb. It is that access point. So you absorb so much more in that skin. It's energetic, it's not physical. So there is that access to that. You think that anything that goes into your mind through your head is the most important, but we say the core, the center of your bodies is the center of your bodies, energetically speaking. So there is significance to that. We also want to say that our greatest concern has been for a while the light workers who think that they are very comfortable with the information that they know, so they sit stagnant and they blame the people who are asleep for not doing their work to get us moving, to get you moving, to get this this shift into the fifth dimension. That is arrogance and that is ego. No one can sit there thinking that they've done the best they can. Everyone has the capability to do more. And if that is just doing more love on self, if that is just doing more love or more work on inner work, that is very valid. We see many people playing with energy. We see many people manipulating energy, but not actually respecting it and understanding it and going within and flowing with that energy. We want people to think about this. When you are using energy, it should be uplifting and never draining. And for any energy light workers, any energy healers that feel drained after doing their work, there is a disconnect there and they're not doing the work as efficiently as they should be. We want everyone to be responsible for energy. We want everyone to be responsible for their own energy and sharing energy with others. And we want the light workers to be able to be responsible with this. This is a gift. This is something that needs to be respected and understood and not misused. And we say this with firm love because it is the light workers and the energy healers who are here of service and must be and should be and do want to be a part of that. And so we say this with firm love.
Yes, it's so important. And thank you for that information and reminder for everyone. Thank you. So I'm also interested to know if there is more information being held in the ice structures of Antarctica.
Yes, there is a lot of information in many land masses, history. And so energetic history, whatever happens on land is an imprint there. It's a dark mark, or it's a happy mark, if you want to say dark and happy. So anything that happens anywhere on this planet leaves an energetic imprint, if you will. And so therefore the water in Antarctica has the history of what has gone on. And so water has memory, as you know. And so there is lots of information there. And not only just from the memory of the water, but also from the memory of what has occurred there. And so it is a bank. It can be a bank of information. It's pure. So it's encapsulated in time. When the water was frozen, it has a memory of everything that has happened of that. So it doesn't get clouded. If you think of standing on the most busiest street in the world, and knowing that millions and thousands and billions and trillions of whatever number you need to understand for this analogy we're going to say, if you stand on that one point on the most busiest street in the world, you know that there is layers and layers and layers of energetic foot traffic, shall we say. And so if you wanted to get back to the original people, the original beings that walked on that street for the very first time, you would have to go through all of those layers and move through it and get down to the bottom of the pile of that energetic imprinting that land those energetic lines. And so moving back to you having this conversation about Antarctica, that ice is fresh with just that snapshot. And so you don't have to go through all of the layers. It's right there for the taking. So if you wanted to encapsulate a little bit of the ice, which we're doing now for Joanne to experience this, to see, we have got like a core of the ice, and we're able to read energetically what was happening to the memories of that water. And that is energetic. You can also go and physically look at what is happening in that water and be able to use your, in quotations, scientists to understand what's happening for the earth. But we would be looking and reading energetically what is happening to the earth at that time from an energetic level. We have not answered what you really are wanting to know. So please continue with your questions.
So I guess, is there a release of any kind of information that needs to come forth from the ice structures there, or is it being held there for a purpose?
Yes. When you are starting to melt the ice, you're starting to release those memories, and then that becomes into the collection cycle of the water. And so eventually it does get into, and you drink in and recall those memories. It's either a cellular level memory or it is a physical memory of emotion and reaction. And so it's like we are spoon feeding you with every sip new information for you to process and heal yourself with. And there is significance there. There is importance there. So as the ice is mounting and you are getting more information, you can see that this is healing all of those people who have had all these other past lifetimes that they are not able to even know how to heal themselves from. We're actually answering one of the questions Joanne had a few days ago about how do we heal? How do we heal from past lifetimes when we have no clue? And when so many people are refusing to do the healing from this lifetime, how can we help them? And so we are saying is through water. You are getting medicine, if you will, of drinking the water and being able to remember these. And it is maybe not even a physical memory that you are aware of, but your body is and your consciousness is. And so you are releasing yourself every day with things that have been holding you back from other lifetimes, and including this lifetime. But you're also wanting to know about the bank of information that has been kept from humanity and kept from being released, which is the truer, bigger information about what the history of this planet has experienced. It is a big full-time job to be able to keep away the truth about the other beings that have landed on your planet and experienced those lifetimes. And so there's lots of information about that is being kept out of the conscious memory banks. And so that water information is not allowed to be melted down. That is part of their problem. They know energetically, collectives know that once more of that water is melted down, that the collectives, that humans will be able to drink that water and be able to heal from that and be released from that. And so that's when all the light workers come in and be able to help transmute those triggers, transmute that trauma into love and acceptance and healing. It only takes a few light workers to be able to do healing of their own inner work, to be able to imprint and help their collectives grow and heal from it. Can you see why it's so important for the light workers to do their own inner work? Because you're not just helping yourselves, you are helping many.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, that all makes sense. Yeah, it's a flowing cycle of healing.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Thank you. So this, with the work being done to Gaia and the releases and just, bringing in the history into the present, what is the connection between the Ozark Mountains, where Dolores Cannon is from, and Atlantis?
So the beloved Dolores would like to come in, and she just comes in giggling. And she just says, yes, hello, I'm here. And hello, Courtney, welcome to this another conversation. And it is no significant mistake. It's not a mistake. It is of significance that I was in those mountains and being high vibed, and my frequency, she said, the goodness, Courtney, the frequency of the planet was so dense back in my time and in my day, and I did know the difference between when I was home in my love bubble in my high vibrational castle of crystals, as she says. It was fantastic, and I did love being home. And the difference between being in the biggest city, oh my gosh, it was hideous. And so I loved my months where I could spend at home, being in those mountains, being absorbed. I actually was nurtured in that high frequency of those crystals, but it was positive crystals. It was a lesser density of I'm so excited. I can't wait to talk. So the frequency of the crystals in Ozark is very significant. Yes, for many reasons, and I loved it, and it raised my vibration as it did for the rest of those for everyone that migrates there. It is a balance. I want to say there is also another point, and it is Mount Chester and those crystal beings. It's I'm trying to speak it out, and the vehicle is blocking it because she's afraid she's going to say it wrong. Sedona.
Mm-hmm.
Sedona, yes. Yes, thank you, Joanne, for letting me speak. Yes, Sedona, I was trying to scream at her, but she's so nervous to say words that she hasn't really said before. So Sedona has the same frequency, but a different frequency of the vibrations, high vibrations. And so Ozark Mountains and those crystals that are underneath there, they are all, it's a triangle of frequencies, and it is to help. And so it is, the connection would be that the crystals are still there, just like with the memory of water. Crystals have a memory as well. And so the energetic memory of what has been in the past is within those crystals, but it's not a negative thing. Very few people can remember that the intelligence of the people in general in Atlantis were very advanced. It was a very advanced culture and civilization, and so they did do good, but also they did do bad. But we know that there is no good or bad. It's just all experiments and experiencing those times. And so Energetically, you could say that the frequency of the Ozark Mountain crystals do have the capability and capacity to be able to harness in that frequency again if it was called upon. It is very sacred. It's almost untapped. We would like to say it is untapped frequency energetically. So it hasn't been drained. Because of the location, some people think it's not so desirable. But it is a very energetically desirable location, we would like you to know. But just like all the crystals that are on the planet, they all have the memory in some layer of what's happened in Atlantis, because it's all connected. It's all connected. So it is again, not what you were asking. So ask us more questions, please, and we will try to focus.
No, I mean, it just, thank you, Dolores. Thank you. I mean, it makes sense because it's all connected, and their information banks. And I mean, the whole part of the whole purpose, I feel like, in what you helped, is investigating and just bringing the truth, to the present time. So, yeah, thank you.
It was fantastic to have clients come to me. Joanne's like, introduce yourself, and I'm going to say, well, it's obvious, it's still Dolores here. So it's Dolores speaking now, Courtney, just so to clarify. And so when my clients would come in, it was like they were releasing all of their own nonsense from their own high vibrational towns and cities that they lived in. So when they got to journey to my place, energetically, they were kind of on a really higher spiritual energy holiday. And that was really important. While the space that I did my sessions in did change location-wise within the township, the whole town was amped and primed and ready for these connections. So it was very special. It was very, very, very special. But it didn't mean that the sessions that I had outside of my township were any different. It was just invigorating. And I often reflect back on my life, and I loved it. And I just wanted to come back and say I loved it. Thank you.
Well, we thank you and honor you so much for your work and everything that you brought forward that is being used and is still so significant to everything for what we're able to even do and to tap into. So thank you.
Well, it was marvelous, as you can imagine, going through my life review and seeing things from a different perspective. Oh gosh, it was jolly good. And I really appreciated being able to see it from that perspective. I was very aware, even when I was doing my work, that I would be able to have opportunity to reflect back. And it has been marvelous. It's been just such a hoot to be able to see things from this perspective and be able to learn. And I must say, I don't really I have been a little bit frustrated for myself when I saw that I was so close to, they gave me big clues at certain points and I wasn't aware of it at such times. And I did see that I missed many opportunities. But of course I accept it and trust and respect the full journey that I took as I used my free will. But yes, now seeing it from this perspective and growing, I did grow, and I can't judge myself for the times that I was growing and didn't see the little hints and clues that they were leading me on the way. But it was exactly as it needed to be. Of course, I could have of course I could look back and go, oh gosh, I wish I had gobbled up the information and accepted it and not be as resistant as I kind of was at the start. But it was a journey. I respected my journey, and I know that many of the collectors just spoke to lots of light workers and with firm love told them to do more, be more, And while I know that they are going to take that to heart and really take a consideration of everything that they're doing to make sure they're not distracting themselves and to not be complacent with the information that they've got, whether it's just them understanding energy work or whatever they're doing, we must make sure that all our work that we're doing is not from a routine base. Once you get into a routine, it can be a dangerous slippery slope of just being complacent and just going with the flow. You must try to see if you can expand yourself and expand the energy that you're working in for the good. Growing is good. If you are tired, maybe you need to do some growing. And as you know, Courtney, when you are tired, what do you like to do? You like to do energy. You like to use your body and you like to move your energy around to get you charged up. And we want to say that is a brilliant way for people like you, Courtney, to be able to raise your vibrations and your energy. So instead of just sitting on the couch saying, I'm so tired, I'm so tired, I'm so tired, do something about it, my friends.
Yeah. Yes, so true. Yeah. It's almost like you, I don't know. I mean, I get more energy by exerting energy.
Yeah. And that's because you're using energy appropriately. You're allowing it to come through your body. You are in balance. You are in harmony. You are, well, we're just, the collectives are coming in now, and we're just saying you are a beautiful role model for humanity, in every which way. And you are embracing and expanding and growing, and you are not resisting, as you are exploring this. While there is growing pains, absolutely, and while there are times where you need to you are exhausted from lots of, your body and your muscles can get tired, but that is different from being tired and being stagnant. And so if you were going to the gym, they wouldn't say go to the gym 7 days a week and do intensive workouts. They say do it and have a rest, and then do it and have a rest. Allow that growth, allow that new strength to be growing. If you're growing muscles, you have to be able to do some exertion of that energy and allow it to take place and heal and grow and expand, and then do more. You can't just run 100 miles an hour constantly. There is lots. The main moral of this situation that we're trying to tell people is be conscious of your routines and make sure you're not stuck, and make sure that you're not complacent. And we also wanted now to be able to talk about the information about this shift. This is not your focus. This shift was never supposed to be a distraction of you living in your 3D lives. And those people who are impatient for that, are trying to escape from something that they are not wanting to put their attention and energy onto. And so those light workers who are focusing solely on the date of the shift to then shift, you are being complacent. You are not focusing on your daily responsibilities, being the light workers. Yes, you are here. Yes, you are holding energy. Yes, you're marvelous. Yes, you're amazing. But you also could be more for yourself. You could be more for others. And as we have already spoken about doing your inner work, it doesn't just help you, it helps the collectives. And we know that all of you want to be mature with your spirituality and take this approach and take your responsibility seriously, knowing that it's more than just for you.
Yes, that's so true. Thank you. So I was watching Initiation on Gaia TV, and they were talking about timelines being represented as spheres of consciousness, and just tapping into past and future timelines through our minds. Can you expand on this for us?
The fun conversation of timelines. So say that Gaia is on her timeline, and she is trying to live the best life she can, experiencing all that she can. And so that time is not linear. you know that her conscious experience will be the most appropriate journey for her, even though she may have flipped in and out of different timelines. When her life as Gaia, when she, for better words, leaves this vessel, when she goes to then start her process of being reincarnated into another vessel, whatever that may look like, which we say is New Earth. And we're not going to have a conversation about the shape of New Earth because it's nonsense to focus on shapes. It's about energy, and it is about raising vibrations. Sorry, we are sidetracking ourselves. So timelines. So when a life is finished, when the body is finished, when it is the end of that chapter for that soul's experience, all of the experiences that they have will be considered one time, well, one event, one chapter, one life. And so consciously they had gone through many timelines to get to that journey, but they will not reflect back on their lives and see all the different timeline options. They will see it has been one fluid experience of consciousness, even though there was different timelines that merged in and changed around. We're trying to find the best analogy to be able to help you. So what we want to say is, for the lifetime journeys on this planet, while you have experienced different timelines, while your collectives have wanted you to experience different information than, say, your neighbor, your own conscious journey through each lifetime is one event. And you do not know when you reflect back, or you do not know when you're living those lives, which timelines you are flicking through. Ultimately, the reason why you're changing different timelines is to have the most appropriate experiences. So if there was not the appropriate experiences, that timeline can shift. So it's like everyone has their own timelines, and then all of humanity has their own timelines collectively, and then Gaia has her own timelines, but it's really experiences that are also weaved, entwined into each other and fused into each other. So we know this is not answering directly your question. Are you able to give us the question again?
So I guess so let's see. I guess the connection point is in tapping into these different timelines of time and space. I mean, I know even that is so convoluted in itself, but I mean, that is accessed through the mind while we are here in this physical. Like, are we accessing, is the access point through our mind of consciousness?
Yes. So we want to say, if you have the 3D mindset, or if you are in the 3D timeline, be a base warrior, you will see that everything's very scary, and that there is, monsters out there that are going to get you from everything, from, the illnesses or whatever. So your consciousness of that timeline is very, very real. Those who do not believe so much in the sickness that is, on this planet, and that has caused people to have lockdowns, they will not, your mindsets will help you be on the timelines. And so when you have done a lot of your inner work, and you know that you are protected, you know that there is a purpose here to be here, you know about energy, you know about frequency of vibrations, and you are able to just go with the flow, acceptance of all. You can tap into emotions if you want in the 3D, and process those and overcome those, whatever. But your mindset is in the 3D, so therefore you're in you are noticing different things around your planet, and that is causing you to be what would seem like a different timeline. Whereas your neighbors could be hysterically in fear and worried and see doom and gloom because of their mindsets and their timeline. But you are still physically together because you're physically in the 3D, but your mindsets create the illusion of different timelines, different consciousnesses.
Okay, that helps me better understand, and it makes sense, because now it makes me think of just the universal laws of the universe, and one being, the law of attraction. So it's like whatever you focus on is kind of what goes through your consciousness.
And so we want to say to you about Nostradamus, and you
Okay.
know that you can, that in these sessions you have tapped into his conscious mind, and while he is still 3D, like you are 3D, he had a different perspective of life. He had a different timeline than, say, his neighbors. And so but you could still tap in consciously to his mind, to your mind, or Joanne's mind in sessions. And so we're saying that consciously you can tap into other timelines and other consciousnesses. So we know that this is not your question, but we're saying because you are wanting to know how can you tap into different timelines with your conscious mind, and we're saying you can with these sessions, but you also are wondering, as Courtney today, can she consciously tap into different timelines of consciousnesses? And we're saying that was an example when you did connect into Nostradamus.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. I have more clarity and understanding of all of that now.
And it is a fabulous thing to be able to ask and have questions for. And we understand that some people may want to use the word energy, and some people may want to use the word frequency, and some people want to say the word vibration. And it all is really the same. It's really not that complicated, but humans love labels. And what we say is, we are saying tomato sauce, and we say in New Zealand that there is tomato sauce at Joanne's local supermarket, and there may be 12 brands of different types of tomato sauce. Now we understand in America you call that ketchup. And so therefore you will go to your supermarket and you see your 12 brands of ketchup, and it will be different labels and different brands, but it's still the same. Well, we would like to say it's still the same essence of a tomato or tomato. And this is why we have used the reference of tomato sauce and ketchup. Is it tomato or is it tomato? It doesn't matter. It's the same fruit of that vine, but it doesn't matter what you call it. It's still the same. So get back to the actual understanding of what that fruit is. And there you can have a conversation. Is it a fruit or is it a vegetable? And so it is the conversation about trying to understand what that red bulbous fruit, vegetable, whatever it is, whatever you want it to be called and labeled, understanding you're still talking about the same thing. And this is where humanity and humans get a bit sort of confused and sidetracked by labeling. And when you're always talking about that red fruit, and therefore, if you are colorblind, what color fruit is it? There are so many different aspects to this conversation, but it is about reminding you all to not get stuck in the labels and the terms. It must be trying to always talk about the same facets, the same elements, and understanding it that way, because it gets too confusing. And this is why humanity, and this is why spirituality can get confusing, because you're talking about the same thing, but you're having different labels.
Right. Yes. Well, thank you for those examples and for the information that you provided, because that definitely helps. And I know that the timelines and all that has come up in sessions before. And I know, I've experienced tapping into different times and places. I'm just still um, just trying to, I don't know, get more clarity.
And so
And
when you are tapping into future timelines, you are looking at future possibilities. As you know, it is not all set in stone, and it is, you're getting the probables, the most probable ones. And you also know that whatever we give you in your sessions as you are doing your Akashic records is the most appropriate for your client. If they need to manifest love, happiness, and a great future, we'll give that for you, to you, knowing that that's the best for the client. If we use people's hopes and give them sometimes the answers that they need to be able to help manifest that and create that. If you tapped into everyone and then said, oh, well, why do you want to know your future? Everyone dies. That's not going to be such a positive outcome and outlook for everyone, is it? So we are saying we're giving them best case scenarios of what's really truly what they want to hear and what they need to hear and what is going to happen. And so this is why people come to you wanting to understand their futures, for us to be able to say, this is going to be the best outcome for you, for your lessons and growth and experiences and what your soul really wants to experience. And so the person can hear your information and be like, right, this gives me great hope. This gives me great joy and focus. I will trust that information and go forward, because it's almost like they need that information to accept and step into and work towards. Their worry is if they say they love someone and they want to have a future with them, and we say, no, love is in, you're not going to get love. You are going to be alone for the rest of this lifetime because that's your purpose. That is depressing. That is hard for them to hear. And so we give them not just information, but we are giving you the best example of them being together. Absolutely, they can be together. They can have a beautiful future together. But we didn't say what planet. We didn't say that they will have, we know we're talking about a private session. We're wondering if the person who had that session with you is knowing that we're talking about them. This is convoluted. So we say that you get given the most appropriate option of their timelines for the client. But then we say this, you give them great hope and joy and the best possible solution for them moving forward. But then, as we know, humans want to doubt it. And they have such, sometimes they don't believe in love. Sometimes they don't love themselves enough. So even if you give them this great possibility, like we do with the shift is going to happen. The shift is going to happen when it's the most appropriate time for all of humanity and Gaia. That is definitely factual. That is definitely going to be the case. There is no other way around it. But we say this and people still aren't happy. We say this and people are still irritated. We say this and people are still frustrated it wasn't yesterday or last year. And is that the most appropriate behavior to have to keep your vibration going up high? We know that you're all responsible for your own vibrations to help us move forward. And yet some people have these little, we don't know what to call them without sounding rude and triggering people, because we understand the challenges of being here. And some people seize those challenges and make jam out of it, and some people see these challenges and make a sour liquid that's toxic and poison for their vibration, shall we say. And we say this with much love because we understand energetically lots of people are struggling. The vibrations on the planet are fantastic right now for doing your inner work and being motivated. To be able to just plow through it and acknowledging it. And the work is so easy when you accept that it's your responsibility. You can release so much trauma within a minute, easy. But people don't even want to think about their trauma, let alone do anything about it. And we say, this is the day, this is the time to be able to do it. Do not hold back. And we're singing this song to you because we are trying to motivate you to move forward. Because every day is a beautiful opportunity for experiences and growth and lessons and connections with others, and find that joy. did you know that part of finding your joy is finding people who give you joy? Not because you're sucking the energy dry, but because you just love them. You love the people that you're around. You're connecting with those. You're connecting with those other light workers. You are forming so much more great connections with people who are like-minded, who are responsible for their own inner work and growing. And that gives you all joy.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely agree with that. Okay, so back to crystals. Are there any crystals that are significant that need to be activated for the greater good of humanity and Gaia at this time before the shift?
Yes. And there have been many that have been activated and many that have been called upon now to be able to be activated. So thank you. We can now use your free will to be able to get that out and activate all those blue crystals that you are attuned to. And this is quite extraordinary. We are excited now that this is being something we are being called upon to be able to do. So yes, there are many blue crystals that are attuned to you that now have been activated because you have asked them to be. And we are with great glee able to ask those crystals. It's almost like we've opened up the key to them now to be able to ask them to then start the information and frequency and vibration has been locked within them. Now you have just asked and we have just given permission for this to be taking place because you have called upon them. And we are now activating them to be able to beforehand, the frequency vibration was within them. Now they are releasing this out through their physical. While crystals look physical, they are physical, but they also have a lot of information within them. And now that is being released out. And we see that there is many all around the world that are now starting to almost vibrate and hum with this frequency vibration that they are now releasing out. It is safe for them to release it out now because we have asked them to do it. And this is exciting because many people actually have these crystals within their homes, which will then start being able to help them. This is activating many grid lines. This is activating so much with this. It is like a ripple effect out. We thank you for this.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's so amazing. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We want to say to the people who are questioning, well, I don't have a blue crystal at home. This isn't for me. We say it's not blue crystal. That is the frequency and vibration of the fifth dimension that is coming out of your crystals. So yeah, for those people who are questioning where the heck do I buy a blue crystal from, they are not blue. You will not see them blue with your eyes. It is a frequency vibration.
That is important to know. Thank you.
As we were saying, it is a fifth dimensional frequency that is within them. And so we say this with much love and appreciation. And this is just another way that humans want to use their minds to understand this. And we do not mean to laugh at you, and we love you so much because you're wanting to help and you're wanting to be part of this, and you are all a part of this. You are all a part of this.
Wonderful. Oh, thank you. Oh. So before asking if there's any other information from the collectives, Joanne herself had an extended period of sleep last night. I know she normally goes on very little sleep, and she had a lot of hours in last night for her. So can you tell me the significance of that?
Yes. So she normally needs to be conscious and awake to be able to transmute the energy that she is required to for this planet, for this country, for this location she's in. And so this is why she comes back into her body instantly. She is very busy when she's sleeping. So she basically says, see you later, to the body and to this dimension. And so what she was doing in her 10 hours of not being of service to this planet and to this frequency, she actually was in a meeting, and it was a long conversation about moving forward. So it was about this is interesting, Courtney, because this is not Joanne's question, this is your question. And so this is this is interesting. So the information and conversations that they were having about the status of humanity, and it was going back and doing a report of basically the state of humanity and how it's all going. And it was discussing the what is happening in Egypt right now, and discussing who is still trying to manipulate Gaia right now, and using and trying to entrap her. And so it was reporting back that information. It was reporting back the information about many light workers still confused about what their responsibilities are. It was about trying to have the information that we needed for this conversation. So it is all about, her other duties that she does for here. So it was a like mind. No, it was not a like mind. It was a conversation with many who are still trying to figure out the plans of how to move forward for the best. We're showing her it's a committee. We are showing her that it is it's a lot. Oh, she's shut us out now, and she is exploring without speaking.
Wow. Okay. Well, I know she's busy because she's busy in her everyday waking life, and busy in the other realms too. So I know there's many, including myself, that are very thankful for all the work that she does.
Yeah, but she does it with many, and it's also other energy work that you also do. So it's not just her. And so we want you to know that it is a very busy time. There is many frustrations. It's cute that the humans that are frustrated with the delay of the shift think that they're the only ones. We are also very frustrated, and also we're not impatient, and frustration is a strong word for us, but it's just it's just that sound that we just made is that it's just so it is a fine balance between respecting and supporting Gaia versus waiting for humanity as a collective to awaken to the level that they need to be able to hold that frequency of vibration for us to be able to commence the shift. So it is, we're waiting on them, we are supporting Gaia, and so we also know that there are other agendas that are using the egos to try and help, where they think that they are helping, and that is very sweet. But it is like if you are trying to heal a client and they are not wanting to be healed because they're wanting to work through it themselves, that love and that healing doesn't go to them because the subconscious and higher self block it. So then it just goes towards the higher self and subconscious. You know this as any energetic healer or energy worker knows. You must always send love and healing to all, but you know that it will not be reached if it's not the most appropriate and right time for them to have that experience, because they want to experience it. You can't just give them the answers. You can't just take them to the finishing line. They want to do this for themselves. And so we are making sure that there is no free will of others being approached and impressing on anyone else anymore. We've just released all of that. We're just we're detaching humanity from all of those oppressions, and we are breaking down all the systems to be able to be having humanity have a better reset. So it's untangling this mess. When we say that mess sounds like a judgmental word. So we will say we are untangling all of the times where humanity's free will has actually been taken away from them. It is a sticky mess, we want to say, but something that we are working diligently towards. So we are trying, and this is why we keep asking for all the light workers to do their inner work to profoundly love themselves, so then they can be of profound service. If you're broken and if you're broken with your lots of your own traumas and you don't fully love yourself, what kind of results do you really think you will be able to give to others? Because you're just projecting your own insecurities, your own issues, your own limited way of thinking and perceptions of things, because you haven't empowered yourself fully. And that is a very tough love statement to say. And again, we just ask people to be responsible with their energy.
Sure, very important.
And it's not because we're angry with you or we're mad with you or disappointed with you. It's nothing of that. We're not having judgment, but we're just saying use your experiences and your days here wisely. And we've said this many times, but we're saying it to those people who still think that they are enough, that they're doing enough. And we're just saying, just recheck that. Just recheck everything that you're doing, making sure you're not doing it out of habit. That may be an old belief system. Really double check everything. And this is why we will say to people, oh, the shift could happen in a year's time, just for them to stop being distracted about the shift and actually focus on daily life. Making the most out of your life is the most appropriate and important. If you're not able to seize the day, if you're not able to empower yourself every single day, if you're trying to distract yourself from all your responsibilities and duties because you're just waiting for the shift, you're not being of service.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great reminder, because once people become attached to a timeline or attached to a date, then they're automatically, it's like they're not living up to their fullest potential, because they'll, just have that one focus and almost, in a sense, can just stop living. Mm-hmm. And that's not the point or the purpose.
And you see that this is the same with people who are afraid of death. They are so afraid of death, they do not live because they're so protecting themselves from dying. And so it's the same mentality. And so, we could use lots of analogies for people to say, waiting for something just makes it, you focus on it much longer, and then you become impatient and you start, having all of those negative, lower vibrations. Except that when you are impatient with something, when you are frustrated with something, that is not keeping yourself in high vibration. You're literally doing the opposite of what you are required to do to help with the shift. You are the handbrake for humanity if you have that approach.
Yep, so true.
We're laughing because it's like you're not impressed with other people's decisions how to move forward, and it's because you diligently try to do the best you can for you, Courtney, for your family, and for humanity. You actively make a choice every day to step into your power, to step into your responsibilities and your purpose, and so you do this. You know you have the choice to not do it. You know you have the choice to wear sweatpants and eat potatoes all day and to be able to complain about why humanity's this shit box. And you don't do it because you know that just would make you feel horrible, for every aspect of that. And you want to respect yourself, and you do respect yourself. You have a great attitude. You are a go-getter, and you are not afraid to expand yourself, but not in fat pants wise. And we're going to stop trying using that analogy because it doesn't make the vehicle laugh as much as it used to.
Gotcha. Well, thank you for all of that. Is there anything else that needs to come forward or would like to come forward at this time? Any other messages?
We're saying that as we have still been doing the activation of the blue crystals, or the frequency of the fifth dimension of the crystals that are holding the frequency, and they have that information embedded within them, they were always here for this purpose. They always were there. This is part of the grid lines. It was embedded within them. Energy workers came down to impregnate the crystals with that. As well as we pumping into frequency. It is a beautiful thing. It is being here waiting. So this is fantastic. We want to confirm that this is still happening. The ripple effect is still continuing out, and this is going to help with the vibration frequency of the planet as well. This is one of the many things that we have placed on this planet throughout time to be able to be like safekeeping. So if we needed it, it was another fallback. And this is the most appropriate time for them to have been released and requested to be able to now emulate that energy frequency. It would have caused too much disruption if it had occurred earlier. And so this is all purposeful. Humanity's bodies are being upgraded more and more and more so much now. This is the reason why we've asked for you to completely infuse water with love, knowing that it was going to help with that frequency. And a lot of you now have got great bodies that are updated and upgraded the most possible. And so then now you have got these higher frequencies within your physical bodies for you to then use and infuse love through the wind, through the air. Then you're being powerful, because you have empowered yourselves first. You are strong and you've got full physical embodied empowerment. You have upgraded yourselves to the most really possible. And so now that you have empowered yourself with that and infused every cell with unconditional love, and you've healed so much of you, now shifting and using your voices, using your wind, using the air to breathe in love, to exhale love, to profoundly use the air as a conduit of high frequency love, humanity can only but thank you, because this is powerful. You are all within the same frequency. And if you think about all of the air being one being, one vessel, one element, what you're doing when you're infusing the air, when you are infusing the element of it with conscious thoughts of empowerment and higher frequency and vibration while you're connected to this planet, is very important. So those people who are wondering what else to do to help, drinking water is still going to supply you with so much unconditional love. And now breathing in this love that each of you are giving to each other, it's profound. Really feel connected to each other. Really feel like you are helping someone who may be needing help that you don't even know. So it's about sending love with your mind's eye out there. And we want to say, when you have empowered yourself so much, and with your mind, you are blowing out the fifth dimensional frequency, you are mind blowing each other with fifth dimensional frequency, you are being of great service to humanity.
Ooh, wow. It's a lot, yet so simple, but it's a lot, and it's powerful, and that's amazing.
Joanne, so mind-blowing, and you're mind-blowing your fifth dimensional love and energy and hopes and empowerment to each other, because you have it within yourself. So you can give it away all day long because you already have it within you. You can't unlove yourself. You cannot go back. All of the energy and all of the inner work that you have done is done. You cannot undo it. And so do not worry about slipping back into the darker times of a loneliness or depression or whatever you've come from. You have stepped those steps. You have gone on that journey that's already past you. You'll never go back. It is like those alcoholics who are afraid if they have one drink now, they will become alcoholics again. You're always shall we say, the alcoholic, but you can overcome that. You will not go into it. It's your emotions that were broken when you needed that drink to heal yourself, to be able to take off the pressure from your broken heart because of the experiences you've had. It gets so convoluted. We have distracted ourselves, but you will never go back because you've empowered yourself so much. And if you choose to completely throw everything away and just marinate yourself in lower frequency, that's your choice. Have a party there, have a picnic, do whatever you need to do, go down to that garden, eat those worms. But when you choose consciously to be able to feel and think the way that you want to, because you know that high vibrational frequency, you know that joy, you know that all the higher dimensional emotions that you are deserving of and that you allow yourself to feel and embrace yourself with, choose that. Choose that for you, choose that for all that are around you, and empower yourself and have that as a choice. It's all choices.
Yep, that's right. Well, thank you for all the information that you brought forward today. Really, really appreciate it.
We hope that people find this more motivational than a telling off.
Yes, yes, for sure. For sure. Thank you.